Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to day 22 of the 31 Days of Horror. You might notice I've got a bit of a frog in my throat, but I am feeling a little bit under the weather. However, that's never stopped me being here, giving you the good content that you always come here for. Absolutely. Well, what's today's little nugget of joy for you? Why, it's another James Herbert. Nobody true. Later on in his career, 2003, this one was done. So, a few years ago now. Please don't ask me to think. I'm afraid I'm feeling a little fluey. It was first published on January the 1st, 2003 by Macmillan, an imprint of Pan Macmillan. It was the year before my daughter was born. Yeah, so this is already at 21 years old. No, yeah, it surely is. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about Nobody True. Yeah. We first meet our main protagonist, Jim True, when he's having died at the age of 33. But when we first meet him, it's when he's a young boy, about ages 6 or 7. Yeah. And we meet him. He's on a holiday with his mother in Bournemouth, and they're staying at a boarding house, and they're having dinner together. And it's only the two of them because Jim's dad had run out on him when he was no more than 3 years old and had run off with another woman. Now, this actually really upsets his mum, and she's quite nasty with the comments. She's really vexed by what Jim's dad did, and she still rages about it, and she's probably still raging about it right up to the point where Jim True dies. Yeah, and it's quite sad. It is. It's rather sad that children are brought up in those environments. You know, there are, so I suppose there's a child in Britain that hasn't had something like, or maybe not all the children in Britain, but it sometimes feels that way. Anyway, we flip forwards in time, and Jim True has an out-of-body experience one night, and while he's on his little jaunt, he's murdered. Well, actually, he's not just murdered, he's mangled and murdered. So I called the mangled and murdered Mangled. Yeah. Okay. I didn't deserve that, did I? Now, this puts Jim True, our Jim, on a mission to find out who done it, who done the deed, who did that dirty deed, who murdered him. He also has to stop an evil from harming his family. And it's not an easy task when your body's dead and your soul is still very much alive. Very strange. What carry on? Jim refers to the out-of-body experience as an OBE, not to be mistaken for the Order of the British Empire. I hope we understand where we're coming from here. I'm so sorry. I don't want to sneeze on you. Oh. Jim True is a very talented man in the advertising agency. He's happily married and he has a very beautiful daughter. He has quite a dedicated business life as well, and a partner called Oliver Gwynane, who the pair of them hire a hotel room one weekend to thrash out a new sales pitch to a very large customer. And while they're sorting out the sales pitch to these very large customers, they have a massive argument with each other, and Jim and Oliver have a huge bust up, and Oliver storms off and Jim gets hideously drunk. So much so that he actually has his out of body experience there and then. And he's out doing his thing, floating around, going, "Oh, isn't this fun? La da 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 da." And all of a sudden, there's a ginormous snap. And he goes back to find his body in several pieces and all over the place. He'd just been completely mangled. Mangle murdered. Murgerland. Yeah, he's just been mangalooed. Absolutely dead as a dodo, dead as flies. There we are. And so now he's a little wandering soul, poor darling, and he's on a mission to find the dude that done it, the serial killer. Very sad. So while he's out looking around, trying to find out who the heck had done him in, he comes across a character called Alex Mocha. Is he the dude that did it? Because a lot of people think it was Oliver Gwinnett. Gwinnett, get his name right, Gwinnett. And they blame him for the death of Jim True. But it's not. Surely it's not Oliver. Could it be this Alex Mocha? We're led to believe that it might be. We're also led for quite some time to believe it was Oliver that killed him. And then we're led to believe that it might be this Alex Mocha, who is a hideously deformed and afflicted character, truly vile character. He's hideous. Oh my goodness me. That man, wow, is into necrophilia, um, mutilations, wowzers. Let me think. Whatever kinks we think he's got, times it by 10. The guy is into bestiality. He's into every shocking, nasty perversion that you could possibly think of. Oh, and murder. Did I mention he likes to murder as well? But did he murder Jim True? I don't know. And I'm not going to tell you. Actually, I do know who murdered Jim True, but I'm not going to tell you because that will ruin the story. But Alex Mocha is a serial killer and he is completely deranged. Demonic forces work through this man. This is like an adult version, a really adult version of Creed and Fluke together. You can see the storylines as they're gone through the system and how it's worked through James's mind. It's it's an odd little book. It really is. I mean, we're getting towards the end of Jim's career, and he was very, very thoughtful when it came to his work. So much so that he's actually looking at the spiritual side of death and what happens to our souls as we, depart, leave the earth. I will tell you this, that the ending is certainly not what you think. And the serial killer is a very messed up, demonic little spirit. And it's up to Jim to sort him out before he causes any more problems on planet Earth. Apparently, that's his mission now that he no longer has a body. Spirits from on high? Is God at play in this? And what happens to Jim and Alex at the end of the novel? Oh my goodness me. I did not see that coming. I did not see it at all. And it was rather disturbing, to be honest. Um, it's quite a long book. It's over 500 pages long, but it's as though it's James Herbert's our Jim. It's almost like he's giving a goodbye to his readers, you and I, and he's doing it in a way that it means he's not really gone and that his spirit is all around us and he's still here, but we can't see him. But if we if we feel the love, his spirit will come by. You see what I mean? You'll understand when you read the book. I know it sounds a little bit convoluted, that, but it will make more sense when you actually sit and read the book. But yeah, it's like a love letter to his fans over the years and a goodbye, but not a goodbye, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you might not be able to see me, but I am always going to be with you. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I think that's probably how I think most spirits of the people that we've loved over the years are. You can't see me, but I've never left you, and I will love you till the end of time. Yeah, I think and I'll wait for you as well. And when it's your turn to come over, and then you'll not be lonely because I'll be there. And I think that's really sweet. And that's kind of how he leaves it. But the ending is just electric. It's phenomenal. Would I say this is his opus? I'm not sure. It's up there. Yeah. I'd definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Um, those that I would say complete James fans, like I only like his very early stuff like The Fog, The Dark, The Rats, might not like this, but actual true fans they'd actively look this book out and they'd sit and read it and they would understand what it was that Jim was trying to tell them. Yeah. So, just who did murder Jim True? Well, it seems to have made quite a few enemies, this young man. And I don't think he did it intentionally. I just think it's how it happened, how it came to be. And I don't want to spoil it for you. But when we find out who the murderer is, right at the end, you'll all be going, "Oh, of course it was. Of course it was." Because James Herbert hides it so well through the whole book. And for it to just come out in the last few pages, she's like, course it was them. Yeah, of course they did it. Was there more than one? Woo. I'd have to read the book, my darlings, to find out. But true to form, I always read you a little bit of every book that I review, and I'll not disappoint this time. So that is to say, the soul by which I am what I am is entirely distinct from the body, is even easier to know than the body, and furthermore would not stop being what it is, even if the body did not exist. René Descartes. Cognito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. René Descartes. I think, therefore am I. James True. And this one really made me chuckle. It's not that I'm afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Woody Allen. I love Woody Allen. He's a funny man. I don't believe in what he did, but his personal life, but I thought his films were pretty good. I wasn't there when I died. Really, I wasn't. And finding my body dead came as a shock. Hell, I was horrified, lost, couldn't understand what the F had happened. Exactly. Because I'd been away, you see, away from my physical body, my mind, spirit, soul, psyche, consciousness, call it what you will, had been off on one of its occasional excursions, to find on its return that my body had become a corpse, a very bloody and mutilated corpse. It took me a long time to absorb what lay spread before me on the hotel's blood-drenched bed. Oh, goodness. Much longer, as you'll come to appreciate, to get used to the idea. I was adrift, floating in the ether like some poor desolate ghost. Only I wasn't a ghost, was I? If that were the case, shouldn't I have been on my way down some long black tunnel towards the light at the end? Shouldn't my life have flashed before me, sins and all? Where was my personal judgment day? If I were dead, why didn't I feel dead? I could only stand, hover over the empty shell that was once me, and moan aloud. How did this come about? I give no answers just yet, but instead we'll take you through a story of love, murder, betrayal, and revelation. Not quite all of it bad. It began with a hot potato. So there you go, my darlings. It began with a hot potato. What a way to start a novel. And the hot potato, that really upset his mum. Apparently, he'd had too hot a potato at the boarding house that they were staying at. All will be revealed. I will not tell you any more because I do not want to spoil the story for you, because it is a beautiful story about love, loss, redemption, murder, greed, and who do you trust? You trust your business partner? Do you trust your wife? Do you trust your beautiful, innocent daughter? Well, you've got to trust somebody, haven't you? Jim True trusted too many. Jim True will find out just who his true friends are when you read the novel. And that's all I'm going to give you, my darlings. Now, if you enjoyed what I did, you can always give me a thumbs up. And if you really enjoy what I do, you can always give me a follow. And come with me whilst we do another ghoulishly horrible story. A ghost story, a murder story, an adventure story. They're all ghoulishly good for Halloween. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry I sound a little bit bunged up and fluid today, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be coming and getting over this cold pretty soon. I think my daughter's infected me. Yeah, she's giving me a flu. Anyway, my darlings, take care. Happy readings and enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow with another ghoulish tale. Take care, my darlings. Bye bye.